Hey, Tiny Dream Team, how's everybody doing?
How y'all doing?
It's Paul.
And Tammy.
And we're out here on our back deck, and you may hear our air conditioner running. You might hear our dogs bark.
And conveniently, there's an airplane flying overhead. Woohoo!
Or an airplane. But if you tuned in to see a tiny home tour, this ain't the video. We're not doing a tour on this video. We're talking about a tiny home situation that's popped up, and just wanted to let you know we do have 2 tiny home tours that we've already filmed, and they're getting ready to go into the editing process, so hopefully we'll have one of those out this weekend, right? Maybe?
Hopefully.
And then we'll probably save our favorite one for either next weekend, or I don't know, if we get enough time we might put 2 out this weekend, who knows. And we have another video coming up. We have a company that approached us. If you watch all of our content and not just the tiny homes, you'll know that we like to do motorcycles, e-bikes, we go camping, we do outdoor hiking, nature stuff, all that kind of stuff, birds, and just anything we can do to get us out of the house. And we had a company approach us. They manufacture e-bikes, and they wanted to give us an e-bike in return for a review video. And my biggest condition was, if you're going to give it to me, I'm not going to pay for anything, no shipping, no handling, none of that. But the other condition Tammy and I sort of have is we can be honest. We don't want to review an e-bike and then be told that you have to say it's the greatest e-bike on the planet. We want to be able to be honest. And this company was forthright about it, and they said, yeah, we're covering the shipping. The e-bike is yours to keep or sell or do whatever you want to after you do the video. You just have to complete the video and use certain words in your description and your title and so on and so forth. So it's not that big a deal. But we got the e-bike a couple days back, and we'll be putting that e-bike together and doing a video about that. So if you like those e-bikes, just stay tuned for that video. We've been approached about a lot of products, and this is going to be the first one. But a lot of products, people come out and want you to review their product, but they basically either want you to buy the product, and then once you do the video, they refund the money to you, which you never know if that's really going to happen or if that's a scam, or they have other conditions that we're not comfortable with. So we've turned down several products to review, and we don't endorse products unless we review them and love them, but we've never reviewed anything that anybody's given us for the purposes of reviewing. If we reviewed something so far, it's because we bought it on our own and decided that, hey, we want to do a review on it. But anyway, let's get to the point of today's video. What's the point of today's video?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. What's the point of today's video?
We're here about ITH and how they're making some quite interesting moves
The news.
in their company.
Yeah, and all the news.
Yeah, all the news and the rhetoric that's going on about ITH.
Yeah, if you don't know what ITH is, stands for Incredible Tiny Homes. They're a home manufacturer in Newport, Tennessee. They have a YouTube channel, very successful. They got 200,000 subscribers. They do like 3 different types of tiny homes, but they're in Newport, Tennessee. They only manufacture one type, but it's several models that they make. And then they subcontract out. I don't know. I may not get the terminology right, so all you people can get in the comments and tell me I'm stupid or whatever. I don't care. But they have several different Amish builders that build homes for them as well, and they build container type homes as well as some wood built, and those are the ones that go through the Amish. But the other steel panel type homes they build themselves. They're in Newport, Tennessee. We visited there once, their factory. We didn't get to go to the factory. We got to go to their sales lot where they have all their models. And we actually stayed because ITH doesn't just do manufacturing. They own land in different areas, and they subdivide the land into small lots. And if you buy a home and they have lot available, you can rent a lot on one of their properties. So right next to their factory in Newport, Tennessee, they have several different little subdivided areas. And we Airbnb'd in one of their models called the Incredibox, which is a 8-foot by 16-foot tiny home. Very basic, very simple. And we stayed the night there, and we did a couple videos about that. And that was about the time we met Vivian, and that was about the time our channel just blew up. So all of you guys that came along at that time, you started thinking all we do is tiny homes. But we're not 100%, as we explained in our last video, we're not 100% tiny homes. But we have gotten to the point with YouTube where we were so busy with our house that we got to the point we were almost about to be demonetized from YouTube because we weren't putting up enough videos. So now we're hopping on, getting as many videos going as we can. There's been some news out of Newport. It was in the local Newport newspaper. I think the paper is called the Newport Plain Talk. And some of the other channels, I know there's, what is her name, Melissa?
Misadventures?
Yeah, Melissa's Misadventures.
Yes.
She has a channel. Her and her mom, they both own tiny homes made by the Amish through ITH, and they've had some success and failures with that. So she's on there on YouTube. She has a channel. She's had some issues. Her lease was terminated, and she had to leave the community. Her mom ended up renting an apartment, and Melissa went to where her mom's home was parked, and now Melissa's looking for a place to get her own lot somewhere else. And I'm not going to go into all those details, but if you're from around Newport, which again, Vivian, that's where she lives. She lives there in that's her home base. Let's say that's where her brother Dave lives, and she hangs out in Newport. Stays when she's with Dave. She stays in Newport when she's working at the what do you call that, flea market? That's not a flea market.
It's an antique mall, basically.
Antique mall, yeah. It's when she does her knitting and things. She sells at an antique mall there.
And I don't know
Newport.
if she's active in that anymore. She may have given it up.
Yeah, she may have. But a few weeks ago, less than a few weeks ago, June 12th, there was a story in the Newport Plain Talk, and it was entitled, "Big Concerns, ITH Ex-Workers Tell Plain Talk About Multiple Problems." And as it turned out, ITH had laid off way more than half its staff. And when I say ITH, I mean Incredible Tiny Homes. They laid off half their staff on May 27th of 2024. And when you see a story like this in the news, and their title plainly says ex-workers, you start thinking, well, maybe the newspaper is doing a hit piece on them or something.
Maybe.
You know, it's kind of concerning. So you should be aware, if you read something like that if it's all ex-workers that they're interviewing, maybe some of the stuff's a little skewed. So what we're, looking at is that, in all fairness to the newspaper, Randy Jones, who owns ITH, had scheduled an interview with the newspaper for June the 6th, and ITH representatives called and canceled that interview without any real follow-up or explanation or anything like that. But in the interim time, Randy Jones and Amanda, who works at ITH, they have been posting videos on YouTube in regards to those layoffs and their current situation, to encourage people who have purchased homes, customers, people that live there and things like that, to give them some peace of mind, so to speak. So what we're doing with our video is we're going to try to give some balance. We've studied the article, we've studied those videos that Randy has put out, and we're just sort of going to kind of balance things and just from our perspective, what we think's not going on, because we're not there, we don't know, but we're just going to let you know our thoughts Because ITH is a big manufacturer and they're very popular, and a lot of people are concerned. Some of you guys that watch us may not ever watch ITH. If you don't, go over there, see if you like it, subscribe, and enjoy their content. We don't have a problem. It's no secret in some of our videos that we're not big super fan cult members of ITH, but with that said, we still respect what they do, and I've always said it in my videos that their homes, especially like that little Incredibox or even a bigger Incredibox, I don't know what they call it, but it's an 8x20, a little bit bigger than the original one. They have a lot of potential, especially the cost that Randy keeps them at. Not just for older people that need affordable housing, but you think about the homeless crisis in America. You can buy a home for $20,000, $25,000, and it's set up to be a one-person, all-inclusive home. Randy lives in one himself, right there on the property.
And it's also great for single women that have had, relationship problems, and they have had a divorce, and they've never really had a job before they had their husband. So it's a new start for them, and it seems like that helps those type of people as well.
Yeah, and that seems to be a lot. Like we've talked about it before in our videos, even van life ladies or van life folks, they seem to fall in just like one or two categories of people. And one of the bigger categories is, like Tammy just said, the newly single ladies that are looking for something affordable that they can live in, kind of thing. So that's the way it goes. But the thing about
it's funny you say that's the way it goes. That's that funny song by that one YouTuber that's a van lifer.
Oh, that's the way it goes. Okay.
You hated that song.
Oh, that song.
It got stuck in your head.
I don't even want to tell you. Yeah, it was driving me crazy. I forget what's her name. I can't remember.
And I would have to bring it up and not remember.
Yeah, but anyway, for us, it's just that ITH homes are not really for us. They're not our style, not our what we're about. I mean, if you watch our videos, you'll see that we're typically in the 399 square foot range or 500 square foot range, and we do a lot of park models.
We tend to like homes that are somewhere in the neighborhood of $60,000 to $90,000. We don't really like to show you guys things that are like 150 plus. Although
Right.
we
have a few,
maybe one or two,
yeah.
but we don't tend to do that because we know the comments that we get say that
It's too expensive.
most people can't afford that,
Yeah.
and that's the whole reason they're trying to downsize or find something smaller, is to be able to maybe sell what they have, a current home, and pay off the this home completely or something. So I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to be able to take the equity in our house, which isn't a terrible amount, but it's enough to buy a tiny home and a small piece of land or something like that. We still haven't figured that one out. We'll let you know when that comes around. But
yeah, that's on its way.
Anyway,
but I mean, those homes, we like the wooden ones that the Amish build. But if you go to ITH's website and you look, even those square footages are on those homes are very, very small. And yes, they're a tiny home, don't get me wrong. It's just that we like a little bit more space. We have a few animals, and we just want a little more room. And we have grandchildren that come over, and sometimes they like to spend the night. So, being in an 8-foot by 16-foot Incredibox is not for us. And that's okay, though.
Right, that's true.
It's okay.
But we do have that, though.
Yeah, we do have a shed for our outdoor dogs. But
yeah, it's a tiny house for dogs. We have that.
But the thing is, just because we're not a big fan of ITH doesn't mean you have to get on our channel and talk a bunch of crap.
Right.
So just bear that in mind. That's one of the reasons that we're not the biggest super fans or have become cult members with ITH, is that there are so many people out there that we put a video up and then they just get on our channel and talk smack. So that's enough reason for me just to have a lot of distaste for ITH.
Well, another reason is we went there and,
well, we're going to talk about that a little later. But
probably should have researched it before we found out we couldn't film there.
right, but we've had our personal issues and experiences with them that makes us skeptical, and we've watched a lot of their videos, and some of their videos just tend to make us skeptical. So if you get that feeling from us that we're skeptical, yes, we are. But with that being said, we're not doing a hit piece. I'm not sitting here going to bash ITH and just take the side of all the ex-workers. I'm not doing that. Tammy's not doing that. We're just trying, like I said, get some balance between the article and what ITH has said in the last 3 or 4 videos, and try to inform you guys, not trying to sway you away from ITH in any way whatsoever. Stay with them, enjoy them, buy a house from them. We encourage you to, if that's for you.
But you need to hear us out that when we do pick homes out for you guys, it means that they have pretty decent quality, and we stand by what we record.
Yeah, and if we walk into a house, if somebody calls us, says, hey, I got a tiny house here and you guys ought to see it, and we go look at it, and it's not to what quality we would want to live in ourselves, we don't record it, because I'm not going to get on a video and tell you guys this is the greatest house. When we do construction on our own house, we know what quality construction is. I was in the quality industry for 35 years. I'm not going to record something and try to make you believe it's quality when I don't believe it myself.
And we've flipped plenty of houses, so we're very knowledgeable of the construction industry, ins and outs.
But we just want to inform you guys of how the business world works out there a little bit, particularly if you're going to invest in a tiny house, or if you're going to live in a tiny house development, or if you want to invest in a company that makes tiny homes. So there's a lot of things that we just wanted to bring to light, and we're trying to be fair and balanced. We're not trying to be Fox News fair and balanced, where all we talk about is one side, but we're just actually trying to bring some fair and balance to. I mean, if you watch other people's videos, you may not get a fully balanced view. But with that, I'm going to jump into it, because I have 4 or 5 pages of stuff from research, and everything that when I read from the paper, everything that I bring up is a fact, either written in the news story or it has come out of Randy or Amanda's mouth. Okay, so it's nothing that you can't go back and find a quote or find the information, or it's on a website, and we'll talk about that as well.
Would you say it's in the last maybe 4 or 5 videos that Randy and Amanda's put up?
No, because they put up almost a video every 2 days.
Okay.
It's in the last 4 videos since their reset, since their layoffs.
Okay.
They've done 3 to 4 videos about the reset, and everything's come basically from there. But anyway, let me just say, Randy did say in one of his videos that ITH is his business, and he takes responsibility for when it fails and when it succeeds. And that's good for him. That's a great thing. That's the way it ought to be. So kudos to Mr. Jones for that. And that's what a businessman has to do, especially one that owns his own business.
Well, he did say he owns everything free and clear. Right? Okay, never mind.
But there's some, well, I don't think Tammy read all this when I handed it to her.
Right.
Because she was busy cooking us dinner. But the article starts off talking about the layoff numbers, and then you listen to the videos and you get different numbers. And I'm not concerned about the numbers, although it's sad that anybody gets laid off or let go from their job. Okay, so because I'm not concerned over one number discrepancy doesn't mean I'm not concerned about that one employee. But suffice to say, they let go of somewhere between 40 and 50 people. I think the newspaper says as high as 52, and in the videos you get anywhere from like 48, something like that. So there's 4 or 5, but essentially they're left with 20 employees. And I'm not going to try to figure the numbers out. But part of it, according to what Randy has said, is that ITH has been gearing up based on previous sales numbers and based on their new agreement with Lowe's Home Centers. and all this stuff. They were hiring people, training people, putting them in the system, learning, trying to gear people up, and then sales volumes have just dipped, fell off, and then the Lowe's situation is moving much slower than what was ever anticipated. Now, is that an excuse? I don't know. I don't know if that, if you're a good business person, you try to anticipate try to forecast not just based on your sales volume, because part of my job used to be forecasting, and we didn't have to just look at our previous sales. We sold this much of this and this much of that. We had to look at what's the economy doing, what's the price of this material, this raw material, what's the price of this, what do interest rates look like, what is our source for this, do we have an alternate source, and you have to do all this for your forecasting, and it's not easy. But to say that sales volumes dropped off and you had to lay off a bunch of people, that's maybe could have been managed a little better, and the whole deal with Lowe's maybe could have been managed better. I'm not there to say or anything. I'm just saying that's some considerations, and I'm sure Randy is learning his lessons from that. But the article, one of the former employees says that Randy told him he was broke and that he could barely make the payroll the last week that those employees were there. But now, if you look at what Randy has said in his videos, he says he has $3 million in materials in inventory. He has a backlog of 271 houses. And on top of that, based on what he said in these videos, he earns $200 a month rent for 230 lots.
On average.
Yeah.
Some a little bigger than others, because some of the units are larger.
Yeah, but based on that, that's $46,000 a month, or over $500,000 a year that he earns just from lot rent. Now that's revenue, that's not profit. That
right.
Doesn't include handling expenses, taxes, depreciation, the whole EDIBA stuff and everything like that.
Of course, he gets key money fees too every time he moves somebody in.
Yeah.
So that's not including the key money.
And his if you're not familiar with this, there's a website called Start Engine. And Start Engine is meant for companies to fund their business. Like Tammy and I could go in there and say, 50 Plus Life 360 is a business. We want to build tiny houses. And we could put all this description and pictures and videos, and we could ask people to start sending us money to buy equity. You don't have to buy a stock. It's not like buying a real stock. You're buying equity in the company. And then we would lay out based on how much money you invested, how much return you may or may not get. But ITH started that sometime in, I believe it was early May. They started a Start Engine, and they have raised $570,000 since May through Start Engine, and it has 400 investors. Your minimum buy-in is close to $500. But if you average the $570,000 for the 411 investors, means 411 people have invested on average $1,387. Randy further mentions in a more recent video, like Tammy just said, he owns everything. All the land that he rents out, all the business property and buildings, all the equipment.
No, except for the equipment. He has some new equipment that they don't own yet.
Right, the cat.
The cat, okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, I see.
All the equipment except his heavy equipment that he uses to develop the land. And he says that he has no debt, but he mentioned all this when he's talking about filling out a loan application. So I don't know what the loan application was for, whether he was getting more money for another piece of cat equipment or what it was. But
at least that makes a little bit of a safety net for the people that are involved, just in case they go belly up. At least they'll have paid for land and things to secure that maybe the rentals will still be there if they can stop, or if they have to stop their company.
Yeah, I don't, there's nothing indicating to me that ITH is going belly up. In fact, Randy says they are not, absolutely. And I mean, look at the numbers I just read to you. They've got $3 million in materials inventory. They've got a 271 house backlog. They earn $46,000 a month in lot rent, which should easily handle the salaries of the 20 people they've got on board.
I got it. Maybe they were blowing smoke up the booty of the newspaper that
Yeah.
they got the information, or they gave the
That's what I'm
information
saying.
to.
As an ex-employee, he could have just said, "Oh, they're broke," and he doesn't know their financials. That's
Yeah.
my point here. Is Randy ain't that silly? I mean, according to Start Engine, he has $570,000 right there, so he's $500,000 in his pocket. Start Engine mentioned previous 2 years, he showed a loss of something like $400,000 2 years ago, and then last year he showed a profit of almost $800,000 for his business. So Randy, I wouldn't agree with the news article. I would agree Randy's not broke by any means.
We're not saying that he's not cocky.
But we're not saying he's not broke. I mean, we're not saying he is broke. That's absolutely not what I would say would be the case. The next part of the news story, this is the one that I found a little comedic in my weird sense of humor. If you watch our videos, you know. But the next thing talks about the engineered steel panels. Now that sounds like a nice flashy word, don't it? Engineered steel panels, or ESPs as they're called. Now we've been taken to task by several ITH cronies. Okay, that's just what I'm gonna say. Regarding how great the insulation, how Randy insulates these things, and how they're such a perfect designed engineered panel. And basically, you know, well, it's not fiberglass panel, it's not an open cell, blown insulation, it's not that. Basically, we've been taken to task probably 20 different times in comments about these things. But it turns out these things, these engineered steel panels, are nothing more than recycled or scrap panels from industrial freezers.
Right.
So basically it's a freezer panel that's a scrap piece from either the manufacturing process or a recycling process. And they get painted and sent in a scrap form to Randy, and then his guys engineer them by cutting them into squares and rectangles so they can jigsaw piece a house together.
Right.
Now that's a smart business move. Using recycled materials, you're going to get them at lower cost. Using recycled materials, you get green credits. If you're into green credits, you get all of those things. That's a smart business choice. But maybe it's a little bit misleading to call them engineered steel panels.
Right.
When the engineering is just cutting them and putting them together. I don't know. That's just me.
And there's a difference between their old panels and their new panels.
Yeah.
The house that we stayed in, or should I say the tiny home that we stayed in at ITH, was the old style panels.
But wait a minute.
And
you gotta get this clear, because the last video we just watched, Randy started calling them remnant door panels, is what his term, instead of engineered steel panels. But he also says,
so freezer door panel? Because it seems like freezer doors are a lot heavier.
I don't know.
That's kind of chintzy.
But here's the thing. He says that he has old panels. He says he has old new panels.
Right.
And then he says he has new panels. So
so which do you get?
It's word salad for who knows what you get
when
you buy a house, unless you specify the latest and newest of the newest panels, or you might want the original old, new, slightly used engineered steel panel. I don't know. I'm just saying. I got really confused when he's talking about we had old panels over here and we had the newer panels here, but they're older, but they're old, new, and then we got the newest.
I don't believe there's any discount though for the old ones compared to the new ones.
If you buy a house and specify you want the old panels, I don't know if you get a discount or not.
Well, if I was myself, and I am myself, but if I was buying one myself, I would probably go there and say, I want to see what the different materials are, and I want to pick the material that I want for mine. You think you would actually feeling it and touching it?
You think you would actually get to go back there and touch them?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But he said okay.
Next thing in the news article was they started talking about quality. Now, me, if you know anything about me, I was in quality industry for 35 years. Now, not the same quality as building a house, but very, very similar. The news article alleges that there was only one electrician on staff, and homes were not wired, grounded, or inspected properly. And additionally, this is the part that really, really concerns me. If it is true, the article alleges that ITH had 5 houses made specifically for the certification process, meaning that they produced homes for customers that were not inspected or certified properly. In other words, the inspector comes, says, I'm here to inspect the house to give you the certification. Randy points to that house over there. It's been sitting there for 6 months because it was made 100% correctly. The inspector goes out, looks at that, signs a paper, and gives him a sticker to put on the side of the house. That sticker then walks in the factory and goes on the next house on the assembly line. That, to me, is a problem.
Yes.
Now, I'm just saying that's what the newspaper was indicating.
Definitely a little red flag there.
That's like you going to the shoe store and you see a display shoe and you say, man, that's made nice, that's beautiful, flexes just right, it twists just right, smells good, the color is beautiful and everything else. You say, I want that shoe. But they say, well, that's not your size. Oh, yeah, I checked, it's my size. I want this one that's on display. And they're like, you got to get one out of the back. Okay, well, get me one out of the back. And then they go in the back and they pull out a box that's not even, and you open it up and the shoe's not made the same. You may not know it until the shoe falls apart, but it's not made the same as the display they just showed you. I mean, there's a million iterations of what you could come up with that. But to me, that is like the biggest red flag, having been in quality industry, because we used to call that in the quality field fraud, and fraud is a very serious allegation. But I'm not saying it's true or it's not true because I don't know. But in none of the videos since the newspaper article has Randy addressed that. So I would hope in a future article they will address that. So that's a little bit concerning. And then next thing, according to the news, this is the news article, the Newport Yacker or whatever it's called, it says that ITH spends tons of money paying subs out of state to go fix issues on delivered homes. And I understand that. I mean, that's not something I would be a red flag for me. It's just that the guy quoted, he says, nothing is up to code. They're thrown together and rushed out the door without a proper inspection. And then another guy says, customers will call and email to raise hell about the problems. Well, welcome to the real world, buddy. It doesn't matter what business you're in. You could work at McDonald's, you could work at Taco Bell, you could work at General Electric, and you could work at Microsoft, and customers are going to email and call to raise hell. So just because Randy gets one phone call a day with somebody having a problem, that don't mean his whole business is falling apart.
Even Tesla or Saks Fifth Avenue.
Yeah. But anyway, that I don't see those as a big deal, but the newspaper seem to make them as a big deal. The nothing up to code is concerning, but just paying somebody out of state. You're in Newport, and somebody out in California buys one of your houses, and by the time it gets out there, a screw comes loose or something. And you can't send a guy from Newport and fly him out there to screw in one screw. You call up some dude out there and find somebody and say, hey, you certified handyman? Yep. I got a customer, bought a house. I'll pay you $100. Go over there and put that screw in. So newspaper made a big deal out of those things. Not a real big thing. But again, with that and the other thing about the inspections, I hadn't seen Randy or Amanda address that in any of their videos. So I would like to see that. There were a lot of unsafe work practices and allegations about workman's comp and things like that, and unemployment insurance that were in that article, and I'm not going to go into those too much. And Randy hasn't said anything about that in his videos, but one of the bigger issues, close to the final issue, was just delivery time frame. The article, and you may have to pull out a piece of paper and a pen to follow along. But this is where there's a lot of discrepancy between what is said in the videos by Randy and Amanda and what is said in the article, and then what is stated on their webpage asking you to invest in the company. So this is where it gets a little tricky. But the article says that several homes have celebrated birthdays since they were ordered. And this may very well be true. We've seen comments on their videos where I ordered my home, how many ever months ago, and I haven't heard the first word about it. In the latest videos and the news article, they kind of agree to this. ITH has around 216 homes. Now, these are the ones they build, not the Amish, on their build list. And they have an additional 50 or so Amish homes that have all been ordered and deposits paid. So this is around the 270 couple mark I mentioned earlier. Post layoff, this is after what Randy calls the reset. ITH is trying to build 6 to 8 homes per week. Randy says they're currently at about 6, and their goal is to get to 8 with 20 guys. He stated in a recent video that prior to the reset or the layoff, they were building about 1 per day. However, on that Start Engine site where you can invest, they tout that they have, I don't know what this term means, moved 130 in 30 days. Now, I don't know what moved means, whether that means they sold 130, whether it means they went out there and hooked a trailer up to them and moved them around the parking lot and parked them in different locations, or if they have completed them and moved them off the sales floor, off the factory floor. I don't know what that term means, moved. But considering the sales are down, according to Randy, I don't even want to talk about the moved anymore. But it says they have built 60 in 30 days, okay? 60 homes in 30 days. But prior to the layoff, Randy said in his video they were building 1 a day. All right, so here's my question. The 60 homes built in 30 days. Is the 30 days a month time frame? Is he just saying 1 month we built 60? Or is it working days, 30 working days? If it's working days, that means 2 per day. You got 60 houses built in 30 days. You're building 2 per day, not 1, like he said they were doing before the reset. But you see many commenters on the YouTube channel who've been waiting long periods for their houses and going to YouTube to complain. Just so you know, the factory only works 4 days a week. Mm-hmm. So if the touted numbers are a month time frame, then that means it's 17 working days in a month. So they would be completing 3.5 houses per day. But at any rate, with their reset, they're gearing up towards 6 to 8 per week or 4 days. So their goal is essentially 2 houses per day.
I believe they just started that 4-day work week. I think they're trying to make it supposedly better for their current employees that are left.
I don't know.
So they're trying to keep them by giving them the extra day. Does that make sense? That could be. Yeah.
Could be, but I don't know that they weren't doing 4 days a week before. Because what I was hearing is we've been doing 4 days per week for a while.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Maybe.
But anyway, the numbers get very confusing. When they're trying to ask you for money to invest, they say we built 60 in 30 days. But then when you listen to the word salads of 1 per day, if they're making 6 per day or 6 per week like they are right now, that's a 4-day work week because he clarified that. Then you have 4.3 times 6, which is like 26 a month. So that's 26 in a month. So you can see how all you got to do is change the terminology. Are you talking about a month? Are you talking about 30 actual days? Are you talking about 30 working days? So you can just play around with your numbers and your days and your terminology to make it sound like you're doing. Because moving 130 in 30 days, I don't even know what the word moved means. But that is on the site where they're asking you to invest in the company. But again, forgetting all that, Randy clearly states his goal is to get his current production crew of 20 people to 8 houses per work week, which is essentially 2 per day. So, if you are the next lucky purchaser of an ITH home that is made in Newport at that factory, you give them your deposit, and based on that goal, you will see your home in 35 weeks. Well, that's true. I mean, that's the numbers. I know. I ain't trying to be funny.
No, I'm saying, who wants to wait that long? Not me.
But Randy says we can keep up with production. Now, when you hear him say we can keep up with production, I take that to mean that the 20 remaining employees can keep up with that goal of 2 per day. Not that we can keep up with orders, okay? So bear that in mind if you're going to purchase a home based on their current production schedule and their backlog, particularly their backlog of 200 and whatever number of homes. You're going to be 35 weeks before your home is on the docket. You're going to be number 218 or 219, and then you just do the math of 2 per day, and then you work out 4 working days per week, and you tell me if you ain't around 35 weeks.
What is their deposit on a home? Do you know?
I didn't look that up.
Because if you just give up and say, oh no, it's going to be much longer than you said, and you're not giving me my deposit back, then what are you going to be out?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the question.
That we're going to get into that a little bit later, but let's get back to the financials for just one more thing I want to talk about. The news article alleges, this is one of the guy's ex-employees, that Randy only has materials on site for 30 homes, okay? Keep these numbers. You still got your pen and your pencil. 30 homes. Now, Randy says that he has $3 million in material inventory, and the backlog is around 225 homes. That's as of the latest video I saw. Now, if there is $3 million in supply inventory, and that's only enough for 30 homes, it's pretty easy to do that math. That means that each home requires $100,000 worth of materials. That don't make no sense, does it?
It doesn't.
So it's obvious somebody ain't telling the truth here.
That's true.
If the $3 million in inventory is meant to build the 220 some homes in backlog, then that means that each home requires $13,000 to $14,000 in materials. Now that makes way more sense.
Yes.
Considering the sales price point of $25,000, Randy definitely appears to be telling the truth there, or being closer to the truth. Now, I don't know. I don't know the cost of all his materials, but I've seen him walk out in the yard and show all these materials, and my personal opinion, I don't think it'd be far from saying that's $3 million worth of materials.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a lumberyard there, doesn't
So
it?
that, to me, that casts a big shadow on this dude that's talking in the news article. You know, he said, oh, he's got enough for 30 homes. Well, that means that each home's got $100,000 worth of materials. Randy's selling them for $25,000. No wonder he had to lay people. No, that's just stupid.
Yeah, that is.
But considering the price point, $25,000.
I mean, it goes up too, depending on the options you have.
Right. You got options you can add. You can add on whatever he's got, the off-grid packages, solar panel, all that good stuff. But you pay ITH $13,000 for materials, and you pay them $12,000 for the 2 days it takes to build that house. So that's what you're paying for when you buy a $25,000 house. About $13,000 for materials, $6,000 a day for 2 days to put it together for you with the 20 guys to build your mini house on wheels. But who knows? Randy himself, in video I just watched, he had trouble taking 222 minus 6 and coming up with the right answer. It's 216, dude, not 214.
Right.
So,
and his worker had to tell him
yeah,
that.
the guy that works for him had to say, dude, you did that wrong.
Right. So you never know about his math.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just poking fun. Don't
Yeah.
mean nothing by that. because I make mathematic mistakes too. Now, keep in mind your price is going to vary. It depends on what mood Randy or ITH is in, how the sales numbers look, if they decide to pay for an inspector or not, or if an electrician actually wires your house, and so on. You might be the lucky guy that get one of their special deals. But if you do, write down that deal. Write it down,
yes,
because even Randy and Amanda can't keep track. They admitted in one of their recent videos they can't even keep track with all the names, terminology, specials, and so on that Mr. Jones offers. Okay, so just whatever deal, you make sure you write down the video you saw it on and what they, because you're going to have to make the deposit hit, because he'll be clear. They'll say, if you buy one today, if you call me up today and send me a deposit because I need to make payroll or whatever the reason is, he's trying to make that sale. You make sure you write that deal down and you got it documented, because they get confused. They get confused over there sometimes. And again, the price might change as well, because Randy mentioned in one of his recent videos that if the Chinese tariffs go up, he may have to adjust the price on his home. Now, I'm not sure what percentage of materials from China go into the walk box.
I would bet that the walk box materials, the exterior panels are from China on a big barge or something,
so.
or container ship.
But if the Chinese tariff goes up enough, it can affect your home price potentially. And I don't know to what degree. I don't know what percentage of those materials are come from China, what percent come from. I know the trailers are made in America.
Mm-hmm.
They're Hearst trailers,
Right.
but
They're in Tennessee.
Yeah, they're there in Tennessee, and that's helping a local company, so that's great. But finally, that's about all we do want to just kind of close things out slowly here with just a couple little observations. From our perspective, and this is away from the newspaper article and the videos, but our personal experiences and things we've seen and read and observed in videos and observed in comments. Train, do you hear the train?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to do a little role play.
Okay.
I'm going to be ITH for this first one, okay? And then you're going to be the customer. Or no, you be ITH and I'll be the customer. This is what ITH has said in a recent video. Go ahead, Miss ITH.
If you've ordered a home, we'll keep you updated on the progress. Is this, am I?
Yeah, you did right.
Okay.
You did perfect. This is a customer in the comments. They won't tell me anything. Another customer. They've changed the delivery date 3 times. Another customer. I can't get in touch with anyone. Another customer. No one will email or call me back.
Everybody knows what everybody's doing.
What was that again, Amanda?
Everybody knows what everybody's doing.
Recent video, Randy says, these 20 guys are doing 3 or 4 jobs. They can do anybody's job. They're doing 3 or 4 jobs. They don't need supervision. What did you say?
Everybody knows what everybody's doing.
They don't need supervision. If these guys take breaks, want a break, or whatever, they can take it whenever they want. I don't care. Take your lunch whenever you want. I don't care. If these houses don't get built, you just don't get paid. Okay, now let me be ITH this time. This was just in a recent video. Come to the truth.
Okay, Jesus.
Okay, what?
Okay, Jesus.
Come to the light. Come to the truth. Come to the truth. Come and see me. And 50 Plus Life 360 says,
What's Randy doing today? We'd like to shake his hand.
also ITH. Nah, he's back there somewhere busy working. He ain't got time for that. He's too busy. Customers say,
Can't get near Randy.
and that's even the people that rent lots there say that.
I agree with that because we were there like, I don't know, the whole day and a night to stay there, and we never saw Randy. And then we were also touring the models and everything, and we never saw Randy, so we didn't see Amanda either.
All right, next one I'm going to be ITH. This is ITH. In a recent video, we're an open book. We're the most transparent company ever. The Newport Plain Talk says they canceled the interview. 50 Plus Life 360 says,
Can we videotape your model homes on your model lot for our YouTube channel?
also ITH, the most transparent company ever, and an open book. No! So that's just sort of little fun and games. You wonder why sometimes we feel like we're a little off put by the whole thing. But in conclusion, you need to draw your own conclusions. And we're speaking to our viewers now. If you even care about it. I don't know if you do. It's been big talk in the tiny house community for a couple of weeks, and we thought we'd just
Stir the pot?
stir the pot, throw our 9 cents in. We applaud Randy. And here we go. This is a tough balance for me. I applaud Mr. Randy Jones for founding a company, building a business, taking responsibility for his success and taking responsibility for his failures. It's gut-wrenching. We know. We've run businesses. We've owned businesses. It's difficult. And it's gut-wrenching when you have to make those decisions that you got 30, 40 guys that work for you and depend on you for food and feeding their family, buying diapers for the kids, keeping a roof over their head, and you got to come to them and say, I got no other choice, but you got to be let go. I've had to lay people off myself. It is not good. It is not fun. We've often said that the wok box, the tuna can, Incrediflop, we've used all those terms in just light humor, of course, but they could easily be not only an option for lower income housing for seniors. We just said it in this video.
Right.
But homelessness, man, if the city governments could just get a hold of this stuff and say $25,000 for a house, and we could just park them side by side in a little, there goes your tent cities, no more tent cities.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's amazing what you could do with those houses. And I'm going to give this to you. What's that thing I said right there, Tammy? After homelessness.
We subscribe, but we
No. Before that. The sentence before that.
I can't find it.
Right before that one you just read. They also make good YouTube videos.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're subscribers. We just don't get to watch them much. But they do. They do decent videos. And you guys, if you haven't heard of them, go check them out. Now I'm going to get closer to my point. Is Randy Jones Jesus? What do you think?
No, he isn't.
But you would think he was. When you watch some people who lay down the praise almost daily on their YouTube channel and then go out to other YouTube channels and act like a dang idiot. Of course, you guys are going to be out in droves once we post this video, so come on. We're ready. Unlike Jesus and Jezebel, we don't need 200 blind followers of the blind defending us. Randy is just a guy, just like some of you watching. He makes mistakes, he fails, he succeeds. He's trying to make a living in this world just like everybody else. The balance in our video, we're trying to say fair and balanced, is we try to give you some of the both sides, and we want to ask our viewers, proceed with caution. Whether you buy an ITH home, a Clayton home, Avery Custom, cabins, or any myriad of manufacturers, Winston Homes, I don't know, Vacasa, whoever, or is it Vacavia? I said Vacasa. But there's a zillion manufacturers out there, but
Mikasa
Suka, don't just depend on what people say on their YouTube videos. Don't even trust us. Your idea of quality may be different than ours.
But ours is darn good. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
We'll even let you know if we see plywood floors in lieu of the good old particle board, because we don't really like that, do we?
But don't just depend on what you see on YouTube, because anybody can stand here and tell you they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, or anybody can write a newspaper article to tell you they're not. We say that me and her have this discussion all the time. If she has a point of view, she can go on the internet in 5 minutes. She can have 15 things documenting that her point of view is right. And I might have the opposite point of view, and I can go on the internet and have 15 things documented that my point of view is right. So you've got to investigate for yourself, look at the numbers, check these companies' financials, and above everything, listen to their words.
Right.
If they're transparent, make them prove they're transparent.
And get a clear list of materials that they use. I would really love to know what each company uses as all of their material lists. That would be nice to have a material list included in your purchase.
But if they say they're transparent, make them prove it. If they say, come and see me, we're an open book, go try to see them. Watch out for the word salads. Listen to the words. The words can be manipulated to where it sounds great, but it's just a bunch of hodgepodge crap. Before you sign a contract to purchase or to rent land, get a copy and have your own, I don't know if it's a lawyer or attorney, whichever is correct, have them look it over. $150 you spend to go down to a lawyer.
It's like a good insurance policy.
That's an insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
You do not want to sign a contract that you're going to get shafted with, okay? It's security.
It's kind of like if you go and buy a good used car, the best thing you can do is take it down to the local mechanic and have him check it out for you before you buy it. And if they say, "Oh, we're sorry, we don't allow you to take it out and
go to the next
check it
car
out,"
dealer.
So
go to the next car
that's
dealer.
shady.
But it's well worth it in the event you have a dispute, because there's too many people that fall at the feet of some of these manufacturers and will sign anything they give them. I don't know why. You're that dang stupid, but you will. Have an ironclad delivery date. Ironclad. Get it written in stone. Moses got it wrote in stone. You can get it wrote in stone. If you're so gullible, naive, and brainwashed by somebody that you would go out on YouTube and make a stupid, foolish idiot of yourself while you're over here kissing this one's butt, you go over here and you make a dang fool of yourself, then maybe you shouldn't buy anything from the person who's brainwashed. Or maybe you should just get a life. Nobody needs little old you to defend them. Randy Jones has got big old pants. He's got $570,000 or $570,000 of y'all's money. The biggest thing here, ITH has a great following.
And he doesn't even have any overhead for his living expenses, really, because he lives in a credit box.
That's right.
So
the biggest thing here, ITH has a great following.
He's swimming in the cash.
They have a growing and challenging business. They have many, many great subscribers on their channel. A lot of you guys that subscribe to them subscribe to us, and a lot of you guys,
and we thank you.
Yeah, and a lot of you guys that subscribe to them don't come over and start talking smack to us all the time.
Hey, we thank them for the negative comments, because that grows our channel just as much as the positive.
Oh yeah, that's why I say bring it on.
Right.
Every time you leave a good, bad, or ugly comment, I just leave it there. That's why I don't delete comments. I might get on there and smart talk you back, but I'm just going to tell you, I don't go around deleting your comments, because it helps us. Every comment helps us.
It's important to us too. You might have a different perspective that really enlightens us.
But my concluding thought is ITH in general. Do I believe this news article? Not 100%. Do I believe Randy? Not 100%. The truth is 100% in the middle somewhere. But my biggest issue with Randy and Amanda and ITH YouTube is they really need to let the air out of their heads and realize that their YouTube following is cult-like fanatical, okay? And therefore, when they get on YouTube and they say words, they should actually live up to those words.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And the commitments they make on YouTube, they should live up to those. Instead of saying things in the video and then not actually happening that way in the real business world, or being misleading, or just writing things off as, he was just being a good old boy. Live up to what you say, or don't say it. Shut your mouth. Don't say it.
We get the idea that that this couple is quite spontaneous in their actions. And sometimes when you're too spontaneous and don't have a real plan, that can get you in trouble.
But now,
I think that's what happens.
That's exactly what happens. And I think we're going to close up by saying we wish ITS well.
ITH.
I'm sorry, ITH, we wish them well. We wish Randy Jones success. We wish all the guys that are still working there success.
And you customers of them.
And we wish you customers. And if, by goodness, if you've been on the waiting list and you've already put a deposit down on a house, or you're waiting on a lot to be developed, or whatever all those problems are that I don't keep track of, I wish you the best. I hope it gets resolved. I hope the reset helps you. And we also wish the best for the guys that got let go. We wish them the best. Hope that they find employment quickly and soon, and it doesn't negatively
They should call us. We could hook them up possibly.
I don't know too many people in Newport, Tennessee, but
yeah, they would have to move to Alabama. We've got a lot of
stuff going on.
Wonderful builders here.
But yeah, that's our sort of take on it. And I know somebody's going to say, and I see this comment already in my head. You guys, we had this the other day, and I'm going to shut up after this. Somebody said we had a title, another incredible tiny home from such and such, and somebody said you probably shouldn't use incredible tiny home since it's a business. And I was like, okay, so if I go out and film a tree that's got those round red and green fruits on it that you eat and are so juicy and delicious and comes in varieties of gala and red delicious and honey crisp and all this, I can't use the word apple because Apple is a business. That's my point.
Right.
I mean, they don't own the world of tiny homes. They own Incredible Tiny Homes business. They don't own the words.
Out of Tennessee, which is probably a business license in Tennessee and not in another state.
Yeah, so that's the kind of cultic crap we get thrown at us on a regular basis.
Right.
But, everybody's trying to make a living. Randy Jones obviously can't make every tiny home made in America. It's just not going to happen. It's impossible for him to do that. And do the ones we show might not be right for you? Absolutely. Then don't watch.
It sounds like part of them are made in China anyway.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm not going to tell you, it's just the way things are. But we do wish ITH the best. And we wish all the subscribers to our channel the best, even if you are subscribed to ITH. But if you're not, go check them out, man. I mean, I don't care. We're in the world of tiny houses. We're not in the world of competition. I don't sell tiny houses. I don't manufacture. I'm not competing with Randy Jones. I'm competing with stupidity that comes along with all this stuff. And that's all I'm competing with. Just competing with stupidity.
Exactly.
And it's kind of stupid to make comments that some of you people do. And if you're gonna make a comment, type it in there and then read it back to yourself 3 or 4 times and make sure it ain't gonna come across like, oh, that makes me sound like I'm stupid. If it does, delete it.
You may want to check out some of the comments and the responses before you make a comment that's kind of mean, because you'll see how sly my husband can be.
Yeah, because I'll chop your little word salad up and feed it back to you with dressing on top. Because I don't stand for ignorance. But I get to act ignorant, but we ain't really stupid.
Right.
We might live in Alabama, but we ain't from here. Not that there's anything wrong with Alabama.
No, definitely not.
Best place we ever lived.
Good place.
But anyway, you guys, we thank you. If you, I know you probably ain't gonna like this content, or half of you ain't, or 3/4 of you ain't. But if you did, hit that thumbs up.
Yeah, please.
And if you like our tours, subscribe and share the videos. And I know you're gonna say, "Oh, you just did this to get traction." Yeah, we did. I ain't gonna lie to you. We're trying to strike while that iron's hot. Everybody else is doing videos about ITH. We're going to do a video.
You know what that means? It's more free stuff we have to give away to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm saying
it's piling up right now.
I'm saying I felt like, in all honesty, with this video, I hadn't been butthurt by ITH at all, except for them not wanting us to film. but I haven't lost thousands of dollars, and I haven't gotten kicked off a lot. And so I'm not going to come on here and say a bunch of negative things about them, because it's just the way it is. What we try to do is present some balance between the news article over here and then what Randy has just said in the last 3 or 4 videos. So the point here, we wish ITH, Incredible Tiny Homes, Randy Jones, and all the staff he has the best. We wish them the best. We wish the people that lost their jobs the best. And if you're a customer of Incredible Tiny Homes, we wish you the best. We see in the comments of videos the issues of timelines, when you're going to get your home, that you've got a deposit in. Why did the price change? Why did I buy my home at $30,000 and today it's $25,000? There's issues. That's the nature of business. When is the mountain going to be ready? When can I get a lot? And all these things. That's just the nature of his business growing and being a little out of control. But we wish everybody the best. I know we'll probably get a lot of negative comments. We've had a lot of negative comments from the Kool-Aid drinkers, and you can throw them in again. If you need to say something, feel like you need to say something, say something. We don't care. The more comments, the better. We've said it before. Good or bad, or ugly. But that's pretty much our conclusion. A balance between the news article and what Randy said in the last 4 or 5 videos. And the last point I really need to make about that is, in none of the videos Randy has put out has he said, guys, here's what's happened. There was a news article locally that said all these allegations, and I'm going to address it. He doesn't even mention the local news article. So he lets you see what he wants you to see of his company. He has that control. But in the question of transparency, being the most transparent company ever, and being an open book and come to the truth, all we're trying to tell you in our video is the things we think about when we're thinking about putting our money somewhere. Are we getting the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Or are we just getting the part of the truth somebody wants you to see? Because there's more to truth than just what you get spoon-fed on a daily basis. So we've tried to give you that balance and help you understand why we have our concerns and issues.
I think you said that well. I don't think I have anything to add to that. That was just, it is what it is, guys.
Yep.
It is what it is.
And again, we love you guys. Thank you for watching. If you're a subscriber, please hit the like button and share the video with your friends. If you're not a subscriber and you like tiny houses of all kinds, shapes and sizes, look at a couple of our videos and please consider subscribing. If you don't like this content, give it a thumbs down. Not that I like that, but you know, we get them from time to time, and I know who gives us the thumbs down. I know what you're all about. You're a cult member and a blind follower of people that you don't even know. You think you know people just by watching their videos, and that's not always true. But anyway, long story short, we want you to support us. If you don't want to support us, that's fine too. Go somewhere else. But we do love our supporters and our subscribers. We stay involved with you guys. We try to keep moving on even when we got lots of stuff on our plate. So we're just trying to do our best that we can. We try to jump out and keep filming whenever we can and doing all those things to give you guys something to watch. We know how those boring post-50 Saturday evenings are when there's nothing to do and there's no kids at the house, and you know, it's either go to bed at 7 o'clock or watch a little bit of YouTube. So we hope we give you entertaining content, a little humor here, yonder, and there, a little stupidity, but we love just being us and being fun and trying to enjoy life. You got any concluding thoughts?
just hang in there for more entertaining footage.
Yep. Hopefully we entertain. And again, thank you for your support. Pretty soon, we're closing in on 7,000 subscribers. Pretty soon we'll have a giveaway. We have no other choice. And again, the giveaways, you know how those work. You have to be a subscriber. It will be a live. You will have to be a subscriber to be able to comment on the live video, and you will have to be present during the live, and we'll give you plenty of notice when it's going to be. And then the winners of the prizes, we give a prize away for every 500 subscriber milestone, and we owe a lot.
We do.
The last giveaway was like at the 3,500 mark or something, so now we're almost at 7,000. So you do the math. I don't know, 7 prizes or something that we will be giving away at least. And those prizes come from trivia questions. And we go through our videos and we'll drop you little words, little hints, little trivia. We'll give you the answer to the trivia questions, but you've got to be a devoted follower of ours to watch all of these, a 25-minute video and get that one little tidbit that might be a trivia question. And then we'll ask the trivia question. Whoever gets it right wins the prize. And then we have it drop shipped to you from Amazon, and we don't do anything with handling the prize. We will just have prizes ready. This is what you're going to win, and we'll just ship it right to you from Amazon, so we don't have to handle it. It doesn't have to come to our house, be shipped off. So that's the plan, Stan. Y'all hang in there. Thanks. Keep watching for more, and we're going to end it right here.